Welcome back to PlayStation Corner. My name is Alex and today we're going to be taking my weekly look at my favourite deals across PSN stores, covering the US, Canada, UK, EU and Australia. Now Sony, they just released the second lot of the summer deals and there's a whole lot of games to break down today, so hit subscribe, join our growing PlayStation family and let's get started. So before we do kick this off then, as always, I have a winner to announce today for a $10 PSN gift card and one more to give away. Now all you need to do to enter, drop a comment down below and that winner, they'll be announced in next week's video. This week then it's all about new low prices. In fact, only 2 games today have a price we've seen before, so let's start with them and then get into the big stuff. Persona 5 Royal, a heavy hitter in the world of JRPGs, and rightly so. It's a masterpiece of a game. This enhancement and expansion of the original, absolutely worth your time as someone who played through both that original and this edition. But here you'll be following Joker and the Phantom Thieves. They're invading the metaverse and taking down some seriously evil foes. Great stuff though, and when it comes to value, you just really can't go wrong here. It's only the second time we've seen this discount of 55% off, and that main story, that is easily 100 hours of gameplay, if not more. Nioh Collection then is back for the second time with 29% off this. It's an action RPG, but think like Souls-like and you get the idea. The combat here though is incredible and you'll be working your way through Japan, taking down what are ancient demons. The scale of the enemies though, that is what's really awesome to me. They are just absolutely huge. I will add here though, the PS5 upgrade, it isn't all that special honestly, so I wouldn't go here looking for, a huge jump. Maybe more come here if you've never played it before. You can also then buy them separately, but combined naturally costs more. These games then do pack in all DLC, so that's 6 story expansions, and they also have optimized visuals on all platforms, so think almost a slight remaster. Alright, so the rest of today's list then, it's going to be all-time new low prices, and we're starting with Chronos Before the Ashes. This is for those that like the idea of, say, an action RPG, even a Souls-like, but want something that's a little bit more easier going. The prequel to a game called Remnant, it was originally VR only before this conversion, and it's all set around basically saving your land from evil. The spin on the formula here though is if you die, you get older, which has certain, positives and negatives, but yeah, just expect a whole lot of combat and exploration. It's 40% off, but just know kinda short as well. I wrap this one up in maybe give or take 5 hours. 2 Point Hospital Jumbo Edition is for you city and business management style fans out there. It's influenced heavily by the likes of Theme Hospital, if that wasn't obvious, but that's exactly what you're getting here. You're going to be building and running a hospital at a number of different locations. You'll be managing the team, the financials, you'll add R&D, you'll learn to cure new illnesses. Where this one more than succeeds though is in its sense of humour that is nearly always present throughout. It just adds this nice layer of fun to the whole kind of experience. This Jumbo Edition then, think all DLC, so locations, equipment, and yeah, 30% off. I think that is a steal because the replayability here is near endless. Alright, so Breathedge is a unique one. I really loved the first half of this game. To open things, it's a survival sim in space. You're stranded, an explosion of sorts occurred and you're now going to be exploring space, gathering resources, building and just understanding your location. Where it stumbles though, weirdly, the last half of the game, it turns into some sort of average first-person shooter, and sadly that's how they wrap up the story. The story though, it is at least good. The survival for me though, that's the bit that's worth the price of entry, and it's also currently rocking 40% off. A couple of smaller titles before we get on with the heavy hitters, and we're starting with the Survivalists Deluxe Edition. I loved this game. It's 55% off and it's more on the chilled side of survival. No permadeath, anything like that, any of that kind of hardcore stuff, but you find yourself here shipwrecked and you need to survive, so you'll be gathering resources, crafting, but then it throws in things like minor combat, an army of monkeys that can be trained, dungeons, and even the ability to build a boat and explore. Where this one excels though, it's online play with up to 4 players. It's one of those games you can easily lose just like hours to, and I highly recommend it because that's the exact experience I had. The deluxe in the name then, it's cosmetics and a soundtrack, but it's a good price, so I'm happy to give it a shout out. Hunt Showdown then was a recent pickup for me as well, and I've loved every moment of it. First with this one though, be careful, you will find just the base game on sale currently, but the one I want to highlight today is the Deluxe Edition because it's slightly cheaper and it comes with more content. That's 4 DLCs, which means new weapons, hunters and blood bombs. It's a competitive first-person PvP bounty hunter game, but then there's a ton of demonic-like NPCs in this world to take out as well, and also a whole lot of like survival to back it all up. It's 65% off, but again, when you go to the store, the PSN store, it's going to take you to the base game, scroll down the page, find this cheaper expanded edition. You're literally getting more game for less cash. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, it's on sale, it's 50% off, and it's basically more of the same from, you know, the Creed team. So if you've enjoyed what they've done this far, you'll probably like this Viking spin. The PS5 upgrade as well, no question, I'll put it out there now, it looks absolutely stunning. I personally love the formula though, and while they for sure don't take many risks, after so many installments, I just love the combat and the exploration, and yeah, it's just incredibly fine-tuned. It's also a huge world on offer here, and you're going to get a ton of gameplay out of this one, whether you're simply sticking to that main story or tackling the huge amount of side content. This is a great price though, and it's absolutely about time we saw a discount like this. HUD, Outlaws and Legends is one I actually reviewed here on the channel, so I'll link that down below in the pinned comment if you want to check that out, you know, see something that's a little bit more in depth. I thought it was just okay though, honestly. It's PvPvE in design, and the idea with this one, two teams are after treasure, and there's a whole lot of NPCs across this map between you. Stealth your way in though, get to the goal and basically extract it. The issue with this one for me, it's just content light, and half the time everybody just charges in because the NPCs, they hold really little threat. I imagine it's going to be better as well if you can get a group of friends together for some real, you know, strategy talk as well, but it's 25% off, and it was a budget price to begin with. So our final 3 games of the week then, and these are all first time sales, but we're starting with JRPG Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne HD Remaster. This is a must-own. Persona was actually a spin-off from this series, but here think a whole lot of dungeon crawling, demons and turn-based combat. The storyline, as is the case with Persona, is more mature than most out there, but it is well loved for a reason. I will give at least a warning though, like it's a remaster as per the name, so it for sure feels and looks still, you know, a little bit dated by today's standards, but it's a nice drop here with 30% off. And I would suggest though, go watch a full review first, just make sure it's going to be one for you, because it is a very deep game with a 50-hour like story minimum. Our penultimate game of the video then, before our winner of the week and final game of course, but Curved Space, and this, it's actually my personal pickup of the week, meaning I can't necessarily like recommend it. Maybe though you'll want to join me for that ride. It will be on sale still next week though, so when I do this same video next week, I'll circle back and I'll let you all know if it was worth the cash. It's an indie though, it has a free PS5 version, which I do honestly keep an eye out for right now, and it seems it's a relatively standard twin stick shooter in a variety of what are very nice looking 3D arenas. Actually looking forward to this one though, mainly because the description, it touts a synthwave soundtrack. The winner of the week then, it's going to Jasper, the creator, who shouted out they needed to pick up God of War, and I do not blame them. Incredible game, but remember Jasper, you can also play it on PS Now as well if you don't mind sticking with just the base game, and of course you don't, you know, own it outright. Congrats so Jasper, email me to claim that code, and everyone else, drop a comment down below for your chance to win in next week's video. So our final game of the week then, easy pick, Guilty Gear Strive. It's a modern masterpiece of a fighter. I reviewed it here on the channel, you will find that in the pinned comment down below. But it just absolutely mastered the gameplay and the visual style they've been working towards for so long, especially in its PS5 build, which is the footage you will see in that review. I drop all reviews here in 4K for that reason. But if you want a quality fighter, this is the way to go, and you'll also find a Deluxe and Ultimate Edition as well, for obviously quite a bit more cash, but you can expect there, you know, extra fighters and future DLC. The only minor issue I had with this one, honestly, and this is me being picky, but the intro started to drive me just a little bit crazy because it's always the same for each and every fight. Granted as well, finally, it's not a huge discount, but 20% off. I just didn't think you could go wrong at full price, so I'll take any sort of discounts. And that's another week down. Will you be adding anything to the library this week, or are you holding onto that cash? Saturday then, you can expect my under $10 edition, and that's got some real good stuff this week, so I'm looking forward to getting into that one. With that though, like, hit subscribe, join our growing PlayStation family. We are so close at this point to 6,000 subscribers, so thank you all so much, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.